Hello fans and friends across the universe, and welcome to my YouTube channel From Me to You. My name's Keir Smith. For today's video I'd like to talk about what I believe is George Harrison's most personal album. It is his release from 1973, Living in the Material World. Following up the exceptional quality of songs on the highly acclaimed triple album All Things Must Pass was always going to be difficult. But Living in the Material World is very much a different album. It's noticeably scaled down in terms of production. Gone is the Phil Spector wall of sound on all but one song. It's a very deep and personal album, and it's a collection of songs that reflects George's devotion to Hindu spirituality and both his search and struggle for spiritual enlightenment. And Living in the Material, of course, follows the huge success that was the charity concert, the concert for Bangladesh. George was being labelled a hero, his stock was very high, and the anticipation for Living in the Material World was great. There's 11 songs on Living in the Material World, so I'll take you through the album now, track by track, and I'll tell you what's good and what's not. The album opens with the lead single, Give Me Love, Give Me Peace on Earth, a huge hit again for George, another #1 single, and it features some really nice chords as George strums away on the acoustic guitar, and his slide guitar playing for the solos is top notch. Session player Nicky Hopkins plays some lovely piano on the track, and I've always seen this as a nice extension of My Sweet Lord. It's a lovely hymn-like prayer. In his 1980 autobiography, I Me Mine, George said the song was a prayer and personal statement between me, the Lord, and whoever likes it. And of course, most people do. And most people seem to put this song high up on their list of favourite George Harrison songs. I think it's a good song, I like it, but it wouldn't be in my top 40, truth be told. But a fine song it undoubtedly is. Up next is Sue Me, Sue You Blues, which is quite a groovy and probing song with George playing some sharp slide parts on the dobro, and lyrically it laments the ongoing court battle that would eventually dissolve the Beatles as a partnership. Bring your lawyer and I'll bring mine, get together and we could have a bad time. But I never really took to the cynical nature of these lyrics, but then again I suppose there's nothing more cynical than an ongoing court case. Jim Keltner is really good on the drums here, and it's not a bad song, but it goes on a little bit too long for me, and I'd have to say it's probably my least favourite song on the album. But up next is the first song on the album, which I believe is truly great, with The Light That Has Lighted the World. Oh, how I love this song. The instrumentation here is so beautiful. Nicky Hopkins' melodic piano playing is similar to what we heard him play on John's Jealous Guy. Couple that with George's weeping slide guitar parts, which are full of emotion. His playing here is truly exceptional. It's one of my favourite solos by him, and I think the lyrics are fantastic here. So thoughtful. Some may say they're a bit preachy, but I really like them. George sings, the thoughts in their heads manifest on their brows, like bad scars from ill feelings, they themselves arouse. So hateful of anyone who is happy or free, they live all their lives without looking to see the light that has lighted the world. For me, musically, this song is so good, and it could well be my favourite song on the album. It's a toss-up between this and another song which we'll get to very shortly. Up next is Don't Make Me Wait Too Long, which is a delightful pop song with some really nice chords, and George plays some nice slide parts here again. And it has an interesting and changing, galloping rhythm to it, which I really like. Jim Keltner, excellent on drums again. It's catchy, it's infectious, it was going to be and really should have been released as a single. It's a really good song. Next up is The Glorious, Who Can See It? I think this is my favourite song on the album. It's so special to me. Lyrically, it's one of the most profound things I've ever heard. It reads like an open and honest statement, not preachy, more asking to be understood. George sings, I only ask that what I feel should not be denied me now, as it's been earned, and I have seen my life belongs to me. My love belongs to who can see it. And again, the music here is so sympathetic to what George is singing about. You've got the lovely piano, the slow rise of the strings, and that trumpet that comes in just before George sings the chorus line. It's so deeply affecting and moving. And I remember having a really nice moment with my brother Liam, and I played this song to him only a few years back. He's a huge Beatles fan, but he doesn't know the solo years as well as I do. But I played this song to him and he was moved by it. He absolutely loves it, and I'm sure it's one of his favourite George Harrison songs too. I really think that this is a perfect composition, and I love George's voice here. So earnest, and that four-note trickling piano part that finishes the song is the icing on the cake. Truly wonderful. And to close side one, if you're listening on vinyl, is the title track. Another really good song, and another song with an interesting galloping rhythm. Really good drums here by Ringo. Adding to that rhythm is some nice honky-tonk style piano playing. But what I really like about this song is that floaty, Indian influenced middle eight section. You hear the tabla playing, and that part of the song sounds distant, as if George is somehow transcending the material world and floating away up to a higher ground. And George's guitar playing here is really good, and I like the way he's kind of trading licks against the saxophone player. And the song finishes with an old time rock and roll flourish. There's a lot going on here. It's good stuff. Side 2 opens with "The Lord loves the one that loves the Lord." And the law says if you don't give, then you don't get loving. This is one of those songs that could be considered a little preachy. But it's a song I like. It's got a good groove. It shuffles along nicely with that deep bass sound and some nice sax playing again from Jim Horn. And I like it when George sings, "We're all making out like we own this whole world, while the leaders of nations, they're acting like big girls." Up next is a real mood piece. It's the "Oh So Quiet, Be Here Now." Really, you have to adjust the volume just to hear this song. Talk about a less is more approach. This song is so soft and so gentle, but a stunning piece of music. It's a slow and spacious, meditative piece that I can't help but be drawn in by. I always thought that if you're a fan of George's Long, Long, Long from the Beatles' White Album, then this is its companion piece. This song hangs on George's slow acoustic guitar motif with production that knocks you down with a feather and philosophical lyrics. Why try to live a life that isn't real? Know how a mind that wants to wander round a corner is an unwise mind. Now is, here now, and it's not what it was before. Remember now, be here now. And if you don't know this song, then trust me, it's great. Turn the lights off, light a joss stick, and sit there in peace and just let this song wash over you. It's beautiful. And I think that this song, more than any other song on this album, is so George. It's who he was. And I tap into that when I listen to this song, and yeah, it's a lovely experience. Up next is "Try Some, Buy Some," and this was a song that was left over from the All Things Must Pass sessions, and it was also a song that was gifted to and recorded and released by Ronnie Spector, formerly of the Ronettes. But George uses the original backing track for his version here. It was recorded and produced by Phil Spector and George Harrison, so Phil Spector gives it that big wall of sound production, as he did on a lot of All Things Must Pass. And I really like George's lyrics here too. Very honest and likely detailing his struggles with cocaine. Way back in time, someone said, "Try some," I tried some. Now buy some, I bought some. Whoa, whoa. It's a big sound. Nice piano, strings, horns, good drums again, this time by Jim Gordon. It's a song I really like. "The Day the World Gets Round" is next, and this is a sad lament that was written the day after the concert for Bangladesh. How lovely are those acoustic guitar harmonics that George plays when he sings the title. And I really like those horns that come in the punchy middle eight section that really give this song a lift. And George sings, "If you're the destructive kind, now I'm working from day to day, as I don't want to be like you. I look for the pure of heart and the ones that have made a start." I really like this. Another song done in 3 minutes. Very good. And to close the album is the shimmering beauty of "That Is All." I really can't imagine this song being anywhere else on the album. This song had to close the album. This is a real beauty. The soft drums playing around George's melodic guitar playing. The piano comes in playing some really nice descending lines. And George's voice is so emotive. It's full of sorrow, but beautifully so. And again, the lyrics are so good, so wise for a man who was just past 30. Times I find it hard to say, with useless words getting in my way. Silence often says much more than trying to say what's been said before. Now, I think I'm a relatively simple man, a simple man who likes simple things. And when I was listening to this song the other day on the walk home from work, I choked when he sings that bit. That's all I want from you, a smile when I feel blue. That is just, ah, George's slide solo is exquisite, and then you've got the flutes and the choral vocals that come in towards the end of the song. It's, thank you, that'll do, I'm done. And that is all. That song closes the album perfectly. That George Harrison guy, he was a beautiful, special guy. So I think Living in the Material World is a fine album. It's right up there with George's best solo work. Some of the best songs that George ever wrote are here on this album, namely The Light That Has Lighted the World, Who Can See It, and That Is All. It's maybe not as accessible as, say, All Things Must Pass or the self-titled album, or perhaps Cloud 9. And I must admit, I have to be in a certain mood to listen to this album, but that's because it's so emotive. But that's what I love about this album. And it's all George. He's in really good voice, and his guitar playing here is exceptional. And again, it's all George. There's no guest guitarist on this album. And the arrangements and the instrumentation and playing from the other guys is fantastic. And I like the fact that this is an uncompromising album, but not in a difficult way. In fact, it's very inviting. It's open, it's honest and direct. You can hear that George clearly put his heart and soul into this album, perhaps more than any other album he recorded. And we get to share his experience via these 11 songs. It's not perfect, but when this album peaks, it has the ability to move me to tears, and I think that's a wonderful thing. So that's what I think, but now over to you. Please leave your comments down below and let me know what you think of George's Living in the Material World. I'd be interested to read. And as always, thank you so much for stopping by and watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you for my next video sometime soon. Bye for now.